Hello and welcome to that handicapping show sponsored by twinspires.com, special Christmas edition. I'm Tom Lamar with the Blood Horse, left of Ian Tapp of the Blood Horse and True Nicks, right of Les Instone from twinspires.com. Well, it's a relatively quiet week in racing, the pre-Christmas week. Not a whole lot happening this weekend either, with Christmas Eve and Christmas Day on a Saturday and Sunday. However, Monday, December 26th marks the opening of the Santa Anita Park Winter Spring Meet. And of course, that means the Malibu Stakes is the opening day feature. Grade 1 race for 3-year-olds at 7 furlongs. Also, there's another very good race on the card, the Sir Beaufort, a Grade 2 event on the grass at 1 mile. We're not going to be handicapping that race, although I see Les has something written down, and I'm sure that he's going to talk a little bit about the Sir Beaufort, which is fine, which is absolutely fine. So a good opening day card. The Malibu at 7 furlongs is very interesting. It's kind of a good sign this year. A lot of good 3-year-olds are hanging around, and we can assume, I guess, that if these horses are running on the 26th of December of their 3-year-old year, that they're playing to race as 4-year-olds, which is great. Interesting race. These guys will talk about the pace scenario, but real quick, we have 2 trainers that have most of the field. Steve Asmussen has 3 horses and 4 for Bob Baffert. Of course, they're not coupled in any way, so you've kind of really need to handicap this to decide which ones you think are either the most well-meant or the most talented. So Les, we're going to start with you. Good field. What about the pace?
Well, speed does hold up a little better here, and the pace is the factor. But he's outside, and who knows what he's going to do. He's really got to run that first turn.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But, you know, I didn't go with a speed horse, but I did go with Smash, who lays right behind the pace, and I hope it really sets up for him.
You were talking about a horse that you really seem to really like, so why don't you talk about number 1, the pace scenario first, and then your top choice.
Well, like you mentioned, you know, it's a long run. I went back and watched Twirling Candy's race last year, and he had a far outside post and was able to drop in. I think he was 4th or 5th down the backstretch, settled, and made that move in the stretch. So I kind of feel like that's an ideal running style for this sort of race. There's a lot of those speed to stalker type horses, so you know, it's going to be an honest pace. Obviously, the factor should be up there. I kind of feel that the winner is going to come from just off the pace with a similar style. You know, it's easy to just to look back 1 year and make that assumption, but I do like a horse that has some pace but can sit off of it, and that's why I like Rothko, who I think is a freak, and I'm saying it right now. I think he's going to have a huge year. I think there's 2 freaks in the race. You've got the factor, who everyone knows about, but he's got his pace issues. You know, if it's not just right with him, he burns himself up. He's clearly extremely talented, but this Rothko has so much upside. His race on Breeders' Cup Day was earlier on the card when there was a lot of moisture in the track. It was heavy. Ran the same time as the stakes race, the Jimmy V.
Yes, he did.
And he's just a horse that looks like he's on the improve.
He's bred to go longer, too.
Yeah, you know, he is by Arch. He's got a couple of fast half siblings, but you know, I think right now 7 furlongs like hits him right down the center. So I'm looking forward to seeing him run.
You like Rothko a little bit as well, right?
Rothko was my second choice, and for the same reasons that Ian just mentioned. You know, this horse is on the upswing, whatever you want to call it. He really ran a great race at Churchill Downs that day, and won pretty easy, 6.5 lengths.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be a horse to beat here.
Okay. I too like Rothko. Made his first start on this particular racetrack in February of this year. Ran second to Hooray for Hollywood, who was also in this race and who I also like. But clearly, you know, I think Rothko is well meant. He's one of the 3 Asmussen horses in the race. The factor, I'm putting him in my my exacta box. I mean, he's proven. Of course, you know, he misses time from time to time. I personally like the fact that he's has the outside post in this race. I think he would rather be running free outside than breaking from the rail and having the pressure to his outside. He'd rather have the speed to his inside, I think. I'm using him. Last minute change here, I was going to pick the Factor on top, but I'm going to pick Hooray for Hollywood on top, which is one of the Baffert horses. Hasn't won a bad race in 4 starts. What I like about him is he's one of the few horses that's actually cutting back from 2 turns. 1 mile in Louisiana last time against older horses. Strong race, not a fast pace, but the previous race here at Santa Anita, nosed out, 1 mile race around 2 turns, quick fractions. I think this is a kind of horse that may be more off the pace, cutting back to 7 furlongs, and hopefully he'll have the juice to make the move in the stretch. Once again, you know, the trainer has 4 horses. You can kind of guess that Smashing the Factor will probably get the most money, so I'm thinking Hooray for Hollywood might be a square price, as will Rothko, I think.
He's going to be in my exacta box too.
Okay, so I think we're kind of on the same page, but we don't have the same horse on top. But that's good. That's fine. That's good. Sir Beaufort, real quick, you have a horse
Real
written
quick,
down.
I love Mr. Commons. I think he ran a decent race for a lot of trouble that he had at Churchill in the Breeders' Cup, but Mr. Commons in the suburb.
All right. Okay, so that is the opening day card at Santa Anita on December 26th. Les, what's happening at Twin Spires Brisk?
Well, we have a special earning up to 1 million Twin Spires Club points with our Christmas weekend show ho ho win on a million points promotion, and that includes the Ginger Brew Stakes on Saturday and the Malibu on Monday, and you get a freebie in the middle, like a free bingo square. And check the website twinspires.com for more details, and happy holidays.
All right, real quick, look at the racing schedule. There is live racing on Christmas Eve at 2 tracks, Parks in Pennsylvania and at Gulfstream Park in South Florida, if you are so interested or so inclined to bet on that day. But I'm sure that the ADW companies will be.
We're open.
Okay. December 26th, Florida, again, the fairgrounds. Turfway Park races all week, next week, mainly in the afternoon. Hawthorne is back open. New York racing does not resume until Wednesday, December 28th. And of course, racing at Tampa on that day as well. So anyway, a little quiet right now, but lots of action next week. So that has been that handicapping show sponsored by Twin Spires. For the next to last week of the year, we'll see you next week. This has been Tom Lamar for Ian, Les, and the vacationing Jason Chandler. We do wish you a Merry Christmas, and we'll see you next week.